So hello again, it's Alex and Daniela again, going beyond the plank. We thought it was such an amazing experience last time that was so elevating. And we were wondering if we could do it in less of a time, like 10 minutes. So we're actually putting on a timer and see if we can go similarly deep as last time or even deeper, more concrete. We just see what is coming up, and we're absolutely making our way into this ourselves. And when we were talking prior to recording this, we were talking about being and doing. And that is an issue where we are oftentimes hitting the plank ourselves. So we thought we'd just start with that. And firstly, I will put our timer onto 10 minutes now. Okay, and we will be allowing an extra minute or so to finish off if we're in between a thought. So let's get going. So Alex, where did we lose our thought with the being and doing?
What has happened, which is very interesting, is that very excited about having this conversation after last time. And as we got ready, I found myself getting more and more and more anxious about doing this right. Daniela and I want to time it so it's a shorter experience, and I'm stuck. I've got my plank right in my face. It's all about, I can't do this. This isn't working. I've got to say, we've just tried a couple of times, haven't we? And got kind of snarled up in it. So right now, I'm finding it difficult to get into that space. So we thought we'd work with that.
Okay. So on my side of the plank, I'm still feeling this beautiful energy where we're not so much in our head, but really in our body, where we are connected to, to spirit, but also very much grounded. And that gives us a security and a sense of confidence, and there is no should and no I have to be. There's no judgment. Everyone feels they are perfect just the way they are. Everyone's connected. Everyone knows we're one. And when we criticize someone else or judge someone else, we're criticizing, judging ourselves, harming ourselves. And that doesn't even come to people's mind because we're not natured that way. We've lost this conditioning and programming because that is not naturally ours. It was placed upon us, in our childhood and things like that. And we've worked through that. We have dealt with our issues. We have healed our heart. We have healed ourselves. So there is no, there's not such a sense of needing someone else's approval, because we know we're all just one. There's this awareness going through us all, and we're just striving towards being a better person, better human being, improving our life on earth for us, but also for everyone else, and connecting with everyone else on a level that is just heart-based and loving and compassionate. So how do you feel about that?
I think you've just given the most wonderful example of how you reach out a hand to somebody to join that space beyond the plank, because as you were talking, I was thinking, absolutely, it makes so much sense. And not only does it make sense, up here can begin to feel it again. And part of what you said seems to, I think you used the word judgment, as in we have no judgment. And of course,
breaking the rules here.
Absolutely. But it's the opposite of that, I guess, is appreciation. So
yes, yeah.
So while on the one hand I might appreciate my hesitations or learning to do things, so maybe not running but walking, I also love that in you, say, and in all the other people that I know. So it's this, there's this wonderful appreciation of other people, maybe
And
being
all there
slow.
is, yes, appreciation of all there is, nature, animals, people, the planet, the universe, everything.
And the joy in helping people over a fence, say, whatever the fence may be, or across a muddy field. Muddy fields can be cool, but you sometimes sometimes you might need to, somebody might need some help across, right? And there's a joy in doing that, and whatever that muddy field might represent.
So are you joining me on this side of the plank now?
Oh yeah. Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Yes, I am. And what I like is how quick it is as well. To be moving from a space that did not feel so comfortable, moving into that space that is so close. I mean, it's always so close. And yeah, here it is. Here it is.
So how do you feel about being versus doing now?
In this space here, where we have this enormous appreciation of being. So I appreciate you, how you are, me, how I am, all the other people that we know how they are. And there's an understanding that the doing, the things that we do, comes out of being, that we're not defined by what we do, but rather what we do is defined by who we are, right? So the things that we love, the things that excite us, the things that give us joy, and they will be different for all of us, are the things that we end up doing and that contribute to our community.
Mm.
How do you see that?
Yeah, similarly, it's like being is the priority, and that's who we are and what we are. And through being comes the action, comes the doing, because I want to be this person, I am doing certain things, or because I'm having some sort of an impulse, I'm doing certain things too, and that will be contributing. But it's not that I think about, I have to be contributing to the community, to society. It's more like I am this person, and I'm, being this person, and that's why I'm doing this. And it's not even a conscious thought. It just happens.
Mm. When you said that, I was thinking too, I guess we go, I am this person. You go, well, I am the community.
Yes.
I am the community. So the things that if in the olden days, I might not actually enjoy doing particularly, but when I am the community, then it gives me an enormous sense of gratification, and just love the sense of something that I'm doing that may be physically quite difficult, or may involve getting dirty or tired, or
you can actually enjoy it and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's not so much scheduled. I'm breaking the rules again. But it feels so much more freer, and you do what you love, you do what you like, you do what you enjoy and have fun with, and by that contributing and doing your job without it being your job, because it's fun.
What do we call it? We don't have jobs, we have being things. No. I was about to say activities, but no, that sounds a bit scheduled, doesn't it? Oh, we simply are, and the experience of simply being involves feeding the community in whatever capacity.
Yeah, again, it's not a part of, it's not like a duty or anything. It's more, it's like it just comes naturally, and we are all enjoying the doing as a part of our being.
Mm-hmm. I think what gets interesting, and I remember this from last time, is when we get into the space, the need for words sort of falls
absolutely.
away.
Yes, I do believe we need different vocabulary, because we are moving in such a different world, or we've already entered this new world beyond the plank, and the old vocabulary is just not working here. And where it's got some, even, you know, the word spiritual, there's so many words, and I'm German, so we have different words, but even the word spiritual doesn't really speak to me. It doesn't really talk to me at all. And I can't say why, but it's got to be, or it's probably to do with some associations that do not relate to me. And I just believe we need, different words and different way of speaking. And then it would be so much easier to do it telepathically. Again, I'm touching that again because it's just what I believe is coming and what I already feel is coming, and what makes life just so much easier.
And we already exist in that space, many of us. Even, and I agree with that particular word, by the way, spiritual, amongst others, partly because in the way we used to use it, it was quite divisive, wasn't it? If I talk about me being spiritual, there's an implication that other people aren't. Like I have to define myself in that way to explain it. No. We always have been. I think we all have been spiritual beings.
Absolutely. And talking about ascension, I don't really like the word ascension, or what else can you use? Awakening? I'm not sure, because that applies to so many different things as well. There's not really a word for the path that we're on, you know, what we're becoming our divine true self.
I suppose I quite like the sense of development and growth, because we always have, and we always will, and we are developing and growing.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
All the time.
Absolutely. But there's still a difference between doing that in a spiritual way, or, you know, developing and growing in the more personal growth that is not, well, it kind of is still spiritually related, but people might not know they are on a spiritual path and they're still doing personal growth and self-development work. So I kind of feel like there needs to be a different word for the more spiritual path that we're on, but that's just, you know, throwing that in.
But in the space where we are, perhaps there's no difference. That if we're focusing on, I don't know, bringing what's unconscious into the conscious, which you could put into we used to put into a couple of minutes. But what we used to put into the realm of psychology, say, why isn't that spiritual? I think it is spiritual. And if there's somebody who used to call themselves a spiritual being, who spends I don't know, who does the same thing actually, but in a different paradigm, why should these things be considered different? I'm not sure that they are. I think we used to create differences between all these things. And some of that has got to do with ownership. People who teach a certain thing or came up with a certain concept, it's in their interest to keep it separate, right? I own this, I've copyrighted this, whatever it is. But we don't do that anymore. We just go, hey, if you want to develop your body, that's spiritual. And if you want to develop your spirituality, that affects your body. It's all the same.
Yeah, you're right. Beyond the plank, it is all the same. And it was just, I had a thought coming, which made me think, when you were speaking, that we might not even need the word anymore, because that's all it is. It doesn't need any distinction, as you were saying. So we don't need the word spiritual, because everything is spiritual. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean?
It does make sense. And I was thinking we could, but with our timing thing, we could stop there, because that's kind of a good end point. Everything is spiritual. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So this was quite a different experience than last time, but I still think it was fun. And I think we were cool to go beyond the plank again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was just thinking, we've done it. I don't know what it is, but we've done it. What we set out to do.
And at least you got yourself beyond the plank. So you hit through the plank from where
I
you
hit
were
through
before.
the plank, but with you. And this is how we do things beyond the plank,
Mm.
isn't it? We do things with each other.
Mm.
And without you there, it would have been much more difficult. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. I'm going to find that stop button.